out here once again. It's Death Knight Friday. I don't know if that's really a thing or not, but it is for today. At least for the time being. Hey, what's up? Doing well, doing well. What do you think of the patch? I would say I think the patch did what the developers wanted it to do. You know, it seemed like they wanted to maybe kind of nudge Spell Mage a little bit, which I think they did exactly that. So to me, it kind of looks like the developers looked at Big Spell Mage and they said, okay, we're fine with a turn 5 Tsunami, but a turn 4 Tsunami is too strong, so we're going to take that away, which they did by nerfing the Portal Mancer by 1 mana here. The Surf Pod was kind of weird to me. I don't think anybody ever looked at the stats on this card. It's really more about the effect. And it kind of made me wonder. Also, feels poor, by the way. I actually didn't have any extra copies to be able to disenchant. You know, I was hoping for a couple more dusts here. My dust is getting lonely. Dust is getting just a little bit lonely. But one of the things that I kind of wondered about this is if maybe the stats had to pay the sea shield tax. So, you know, if they're saying that the Surf Pod, if it was going to be coming down on turn 4 because you play Sea Shield on 3, Surf Pod on 4, then they say, okay, you know, a turn 4 Surf Pod can't be a 5/6, it's going to have to be a 4/4. And I don't know that that's the case, but if that is the case, going forward, are Mage and Paladin minions going to be subject to, you know, being balanced around, potentially being discounted by 2 because of this card? And if they are, then you kind of make this card mandatory to be able to get those discounts for every Mage deck going forward until, you know, this would rotate out. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from a design standpoint, you know, as far as that kind of thing goes. And then the... oh, there was the one other change was the Shaman card, the Turbo. Whoop, turn Turbulus. This, I don't know. I mean, the fact that it's cheaper, again, I don't think you look at the stats, so the fact that you know, that changed really doesn't matter all that much. The card itself, I don't know that this does a whole lot in existing Shaman decks, and I think a lot of times you just have better 3-mana cards that you would rather play instead of this, so maybe it sets it up to have a little bit better future, but as far as what it's doing right now, I'm not sure that it's quite there. And honestly, of all the Shaman decks that I currently see out there, I think you cut this card. Like, you don't even want to play it. It's just not going to be good enough. And then the fact that it's a Hunter Tourist actually doesn't do anything whatsoever because the Hunter cards are so bad. So, I don't know. I mean, the fact that it's cheaper, if you are playing it, it's going to be a little bit easier to be able to fit that into your turn, because it's only 3 mana instead of 4, but, you know, overall, just not really all that impressive. It's interesting, too, that the, basically the only card from the mini set that had any impact on the meta whatsoever was Portal Mancer, and that's the card that they decided to nerf. Fortunately, it seemed like a light nerf, so Mage doesn't actually lose the big Spell Mage deck. But, you know, buffing Turbulus I thought was kind of strange. Seemed like there was maybe better cards that you could buff, or certainly more cards that could be buffed. I think Salesman is like never a keep. Like, I'm not so desperate for a turn 1 play that I want this. I'd rather have other stuff. Harbinger of Winter, I feel like the stats say that you don't keep this, but being able to draw the Horn of Winter just feels really nice. I'm gonna toss it. Also, we got a little bit of spicy tech here with the Busy Pea on. I'm not sure how good this is either. Now, the fact that I have a location in my hand is going to make it a little bit better. But I probably don't want to play this on turn 2 because the Dreadhound is just better in a lot of situations, depending on what our opponent does here. But since they do nothing, we're doing this. And kind of loosely, we're looking at like a Dreadhound on 2 into location Dreadhound on 3. And the thing that makes the location so strong is just having minions on the board to be able to reopen it and shoot it off multiple times, which we're going to have with these Reborn minions. I think our game plan is going to be just fine here. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and kind of take this trade. I don't really like trading for 1/1s, but I think specifically in the Death Knight mirror, it's correct to not leave a bunch of minions on the board, because they may have a location of their own. And then likely turn 4, we're just going to keep with our plan. We should be able to clear our opponent's board, push damage face, be in a pretty good situation in this particular game going forward.
My collection grows.
And see, they actually kill the peon for us, which is certainly nice. Question is, what order do we want to do this? Are we shooting first? I guess we're shooting first. And face. I'm gonna go ahead and take the face damage here as well. Likely next turn, if I need to reopen it and I don't want to use these minions, I could even just hero power based on my hand, but we'll see what it looks like. I think I see the sun coming out. Been a lot of storms where I am, coming off the hurricane. So it's good to do that. So we're actually playing against Blood Death Knight here. I don't like that at all. Start like this. After you play a Naga, does nothing. Discover a paladin weapon from the past and give it 1/1. Guess we can see what's in the box since it is free. Random friendly minion, divine shield and taunt. Silverhand recruits. It does get 1/1. Maybe I just take a 3-mana 3/4 weapon here. Probably not going to want to spend that big numbers of mana on the card. This seems perfectly fine. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the minion on the board. I'm going to make our turn like this. Should be a really bad matchup for the deck here. Unfortunately, our opponent is also celebrating Death Knight Friday. Just knowing that this is a Blood Death Knight almost makes me want to concede right off the bat. With the Dazzler in hand already at 2, I almost just want to go ahead and play it. See what we get for hits here. We actually got pretty favorable hits. And I'm going to go ahead and Dazzler, hopefully before our opponent can clear it. I mean, potentially Corpse Explosion just clears the board, but I'm not willing to just sit on it. I might even consider just conceding this game if they do have the Corpse Explosion. I'm not really interested in a long, drug-out game where I just get controlled the entire time. Yeah. I'm just going to see my way out. Queuing into a bad matchup right off the bat is no fun. Plus our opponent, with a full hand, likely they're just going to have board clear after board clear. So I think we just kind of cash it in. Hope for a bit more favorable matchup in the next game. Continuing the climb towards top 2,000. I left a 0 out of the stream title. Don't tell anybody.
The Lich King versus Lady Vash.
Versus Shaman.
Time ends now.
All will serve me in death.
Wonder if our opponent is playing Turbulus. This could potentially be good, depending on what happens as the game goes on. You potentially have a lot of big minions, Shaman. I would like nothing more for Christmas than to steal them.
One dose solves any problem.
The malted magma play. So I kind of don't want to just play mining casualties because they're going to die to the next malted magma, so I think I'm just going to get down the busy peon here.
More.
And maybe even just coin buttons for turn 3. Go ahead and get some spells in hand and work on trying to get a bigger Dazzler going. I kind of wonder if my opponent is... I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're going to be running Razzle Dazzle themselves. Dreadhound, you say. 7 in hand, so we draw Frost, Shadow, Fire, and Nature.
My collection grows.
Let's do it. I could even horn the first magma here, but there's no reason to. I can still make that turn, make that play next turn, and hit whatever additional minions they play onto the board as well. The most overpowered totem, the only totem that's ever been Hall of Famed, I think, or at least removed from Standard because of how strong it was. Still no evolves just yet. So they should still have one more... They have one more drink left on the malted magma. I think now I'm actually tempted to play out the mining casualties if I can force it out. It's going to give more corpses for the Marrow Manipulator. So we're definitely doing this. But it's probably more of just a Dreadhound. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and make the play like this. If we ever do draw the location, it's discounted by 2 at this point, so that's good to know. So I can go like magma down with the ship. Trade. We get that back. So I'm going to trade first. Avenger of Winter. I think I still like the play. We're down with the ship here. Trade here. And I'm thinking about taking the trade here. This doesn't really get any extra value from Horn of Winter, I guess, other than the 3/1 body that would be coming back. Let's try to maintain this on the board. If they hit, if they have Cliff Dive and then double evolve, can't really do anything with the Resca anyway, because of how expensive it is. I'm just gonna do this. I wouldn't be able to play the Resca super strong if I could. They just have a Cliff Dive here, so they heal back to full. And then I'm assuming they evolved the Walking Mountain. Why do they hit the best minion? I don't really like this play, but as long as this is on the board, I'm just never hitting them in the face. I need them to have like a weak turn or two here so I can get some damage in. Be straightforward here. Our opponent still has a lot of really strong plays, though, unfortunately. I don't think we're necessarily worried about dying all that soon. But like a Dazzler is going to be really strong for them whenever they draw it.
Strike a pose!
Unfortunately, they have it along with lots of taunts, so I think this is just another situation where we bow out of the game. As we continue the climb to the top 2,000. Let's try Rainbow DK. See if that goes a little bit smoother. 2 games in a row just been controlled. Blood Death Knight and Cliff Dive Shaman. Hearthstone bugging out on me. Man, I feel like I say this every time I play Hearthstone, but the client is just so buggy. It's like the buggiest state in recent memory for me, where the game just kind of like freezes up. I mean, at least it doesn't crash, but it does freeze up.
The Lich King versus Urel!
Light, guide my hand.
All will serve me in death.
I like the hand for the most part.
One dose solves any problem.
Miracle Salesman on 1. Already lost the game? No shot.
Reporting for duty!
I'm assuming this is Pipsy Paladin. You're 1 turn late, my friend. Yep, I think that definitely means Pipsy Paladin. The coins are strong with this one. I have to be careful with buttons this game as well, because I could potentially overdraw. Fire, yeah. It's gonna get this guy off the board. He's gonna take this trade and have another coin in hand. This is just another game where if they have the card early, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and concede. That means it comes down next turn. How unfortunate is that? This thing randomly picks mana costs, and it has a 7. Give me a wide out on the board. I'm assuming it's going to be coin, coin, concede. Coin, coin,
May have gone slightly overboard on the
concede.
size.
It's just super unfortunate that this thing landed on a 7-drop minion and they had the metal detector in hand. I feel like that's like 3 games, 3 unwinnables. Hearthstone, when is it my turn? Death Knight Friday may not last too long if this is the way that it's going to be. Maybe I'll just go and play some brainless big spell mage if things aren't working out. I think the deck is actually still just perfectly playable, super fine.
The Lich King versus Rexar.
Hunter's an interesting choice.
Let the hunt begin. Darkness comes.
Buttons every game. I think I actually want to keep the buttons here and play it on turn 4 because Malted Magma, assuming this is like a token hunter, is going to be potentially really good. The only problem is that it would come a little bit slow. I'm trying to talk myself into a bad keep, which would be bad.
One dose solves
Just jam this on
any
2 and hope that I
problem.
top deck one of the pertinent cards to play along with it. That's interesting.
Eyes on the horizon!
I'll take the card draw for sure. Dazzler on 6 would be good if I can get like... I'd probably play it with even just 1 spell, but 2 spells certainly would be really strong coming down on 6.
I race, you fold.
It probably just doesn't die. I think it's better to spend mana here.
The citadel stands strong.
Push base. I was considering playing Harbinger of Winter. I'd draw both horns, which would be, you know, buff the Dazzler. It kind of gives me some options, but I need to kill this before they can really utilize it. It's a pretty premium top deck as well. I don't want him to be able to play the Death Yodeler on it. Hopefully they hit like a Mukla. I think Mukla's the worst. King Plush is really good for him. King Plush is really good for him. And then Hollow Hound, of course, with the healing and the board clear would be good as well, but Plush is the one that I'd be the most worried about here. Hey, Andrew. Nice to see you. It's just so strong, man. And that's what they randomed out of their deck. We've only played 1 spell. Yeah, there's the Yodeler. That's why I wanted to trade for the egg in the first place. I mean, location is probably my best play here.
To battle!
Yeah.
To battle!
Having to use like all of the charges to be able to clear this, it's a little bit Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Gonna save the last charge. Positioning is important here as well in case they do have the Hollow Hound. Another King Plush probably just wins them the game. And they hit the other King Plush. What is going on? Why does Hearthstone hate me? Are 3 minions good enough? Probably not. Ooh. That makes things pretty interesting, though.
Pounce on them.
Go ahead and take the evolve here. Ooh. That negates Hollow Hound quite a bit. They only heal for this one minion, unless they have a way to break the Divine Shield. They hit King Plush every single time on the stupid eggs. That's crazy. Does Dazzler win me the game, though? We get the cookie back? That's interesting.
Strike a pose. Yeah. Yeah.
So, every death rattle from their egg hit King Plush. And then they had the Stranglethorn Heart in hand. Like, how are you supposed to win a game like that? If they hit Mukla or Hollow Hound on any one of those 3 eggs, they just lose. If they don't have the Stranglethorn Heart, they probably just lose. And yet here we are. What are the odds of that? Like 1 in a gazillion? Man, it sure would be nice to win a game. I feel like it would be more fun playing Hearthstone if you could win a game every once in a while. Who's feeling me on that one? Hey, Uncorrupt, how you doing? What are your opinions on losing? Don't like.
The Lich
I do not
King
like losing.
versus Reform. You
I don't like losing in the rain. I don't like losing when I'm in pain.
my genius.
Don't like losing in the sun. I don't like losing. It's not fun.
Wins.
I'm gonna be the first person to write a Hearthstone children's book. I've already got the plot in the first 5 pages.
One dose solves any problem.
I just need to animate. If I coin this out, if I coin it out, this is like Insanity Lock. That means they're not playing Spirit Bomb, so it lives and then I get the value on turn 2. Unless they have Crescendo, which they would be throwing away. I think it's kind of worth the risk here. 2, 3, 4.
And now the premiere act. Me.
I want value.
Curse my house.
Boom, 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 boom. Opponent with a perfect curve. My only hope is that they don't have very many cards, and that Popgar is like between cards 4 and 6 at the bottom of their deck. Let the opponent make the trade here for us. And just keep to the plan. Location could potentially help me push a lot of damage face. But they're about to start healing and my board is relatively weak here. It's one of those matchups that if they just never draw Popgar, they don't win. But Warlock always draws Popgar, even with no way to tutor it out.
The overture is upon us!
Crescendo is up to 4 now. 2 mana minions aren't good enough.
My collection grows.
Probably will still horn out a casualties here, though. Maybe it's just better to down with the ship. Gonna put the rest face. This is the kind of matchup where I wish I would have just played the big spell mage. Death Knight Friday lasts all of 20 minutes. So they have 20 real cards in deck and then 2 plagues.
Shining's only good for smashing!
Probably just gonna dazzle next turn. Could even play 3-drop minions to try to force out the board clear. But either way, I'm going to be starting with the natural talent. If you cast a spell, causes me to float a mana, but it puts an extra minion into the Dazzler, which I'm kind of like dependent on to win this game, I think. Maybe I draw the other horn. Negative.
Is this really better than nothing?
These go face for sure.
Frostmourne hunger.
I'm just going to remove the minion here. Dazzler's actually huge. 5 minions. Problem is this board isn't threatening enough to force out like a Crescendo. And the Crescendo is hitting for 4. Which, depending on the minions I roll off of this, might actually be enough to just clear the board.
Everybody, hold for the camera!
Really seemed like a fizzle kind of matchup.
Now, the premiere act! Me!
Crescendo is now at 5. 4, 5. Really need to save the Marrow Manipulator. I was thinking, well, the Malted Magma, I haven't actually played one yet, so definitely gonna Magma first, and then I can Horn. That gets me an extra minion.
You try it. Strike a pose.
I mean, if I trade here, then he removes this, but my board is just dead to Crescendo. I don't like 5s or 6s off of this. 4s is actually really good off the cheese. I feel like I always get good 4-drop minions, but 5s and 6s are almost always bad. So I feel like I'm saving this. Here's the pop guard. I think that was far left. Kind of wasn't looking at their hand, but...
Shaggy's only good
Second gem tosser. Maybe I just take the 5 mana minions. I don't like the pop guard being on board, but I can't really do anything. Like, this isn't going to remove it. With the Helia, maybe I can get lucky with some of the plague draws. But it's looking like this is probably just a loss here.
You have earned an eternity of torment.
Especially with a snapshot in their deck. But plagues are going to reshuffle their deck. Which could be nice.
That feels good.
Hopefully it doesn't reshuffle it in our opponent's favor. Naturally, they burn one of the plagues. That's great. So they're down 1 heart and 1 virtuoso. Still 4 plagues in deck, so they have 12 real cards. I need to remove this ASAP. Clutch Frost Plague.
Time's running out.
Wait. Are they dead? The 11. If all of these can go face. They're at 24. They're at 8. It's actually close to lethal here. They hit a plague.
I bring the mega death.
No reprieve!
Easy game. Well, the lethal math checks out. I wonder if that Frost Plague actually just won me the game. Like, if they had another Crescendo in hand, they would have cleared the board and healed back to full again.
The Lich King versus Medivh.
Here we go. It's the nerfed deck.
Let the games begin. All will serve me in death.
I don't really feel like this is a winning hand against...
Solves any problem.
I'm just going to get on the board here. I don't necessarily feel that this is a winning hand against Big Spell Mage. What I'm doing is going to be a little bit too slow, I think.
Tuned to perfection.
Yeah, they're going to have weapon on 3. Which is bad.
To battle!
Just have to try to push as much damage as I can, but if they're like a turn 5 Tsunami gamer, which is still really likely with this deck, they choose not to play the weapon here. I think that tells us something about their hand. I just want to spend mana. All damage goes face, because they can't heal. I guess they could heal if this is the Galactic Orb version. They run the elementals that give armor. But if they play Portalmancer next turn, it seems like we just lose. Because if the Portal Mancer comes down, then so does the Tsunami. Sunset Volley might be beatable depending on what minion they get off of it. Also, like with this setup, getting down some additional minions on the board, the Marrow Manipulator could potentially go all face if they don't have... That's the top deck, by the way. King Todd, okay. So it comes down next turn. How much damage can I push? Okay.
The citadel stands strong.
Draw here. Horn does nothing. That's crazy.
To battle.
Is 1 damage important? I mean, they're just gonna Tsunami and then I never get to deal damage ever again, right? On with the ship.
I have but little time.
The only thing this really does is potentially save damage from my face. So I can go... I've got 1 location charge.
One dose solves any problem.
I mean, double down with the ship is 6. And it puts 4 plagues in the deck. I kind of have to high roll plagues, but I'm also still not just dead here.
My rule
Well, 14. So I think I actually Marrow Manipulator. Nothing goes face. I need 1 hit face. And I didn't get it. Goes to 8. That's still off.
I have but little time.
And I need to... If one of these hits face, I have lethal next turn. Unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to high roll my opponent drawing a plague. The good news is they thinned their own deck a little bit here. Reska doesn't do anything, right?
Take a good look. You
Actually-
ain't never seen a very dead or alive.
Plague? Oh. Second game in a row where Plague wins the game. How mad, Dialax? So this is where Hearthstone is returning all those games that we lost to start the stream. Due to our opponents having everything. Now we have everything. Hearthstone is the ultimate luck simulator, right? It's like a slot machine.
King versus Gul'dan.
Another Warlock!
Soul shall be mine. Darkness comes.
I'm still not sold on the Busy Peon either. Double Harbinger. Alright, Insanity or Pain? Double Dreadhound is good if it's, I guess it's good no matter what. It's just a good card. Looks like it is Pain. The cheaper location could be really good against Pain Warlock. Kinda have to be careful with my opponent's health total, is the only issue. I like it. So, when this dies, I'm gonna get a 2-mana location. This card is so good, especially if you have stuff on the board. Like, I kind of like to see a mining casualties at this point, because they don't have any kind of board clear. You know, it's just all minions that are on the board. That there is a lot of stats. Which way is the hit supposed to go? Probably the 4-4?
Business, business. Job done. Nothing gets past my hand.
50-50. Lose the 50-50. And this is at 0, so that's not good. I mean, this guaranteed dies next turn, though. Might have to double Harbinger. Maybe I can do something with the extra mana off the Horn of Winter. Nothing else, it's 1 extra mana here, but they're kind of getting close to being able to play Giants. And they may have the Infernal Taunt/Heal, which is also going to be bad news. I kind of need to... Okay, so no Giants, but they do have the Taunt. Location is just really good against this, but the setup is a bit unfortunate here. And I kind of have to hero power because I need that 5-1 to die. But that's unfortunate. Marrow Manipulator is actually surprisingly good at clearing up these small boards, though. Now they're gonna sleep this. Okay. Push 13. Yeah. Gonna take the trade there. It's unfortunate that this is still summoning 0 extra minions. And they're healing and killing this. Clutch top deck from our opponent. Feels like we just kind of lost the game on that. Horn of Winter top deck. So that's a negative. I'm basically dead, and I can't really do that much about it. Also, this comes open again next turn. So I'm assuming they location this. Could just be dead to Leroy here. Some of these warlocks have been running Leroy. Dead to Symphony. But looks like we're not dead this turn, but we're also not alive. Oh. We are dead this turn. Death Knight not really doing too good today.
The Lich King.
This is also the third Warlock I've faced. I haven't seen this much Warlock in a while. I wonder if this is another
Serve me in death.
Insanity Warlock, or if people are playing Pain. If it's Pain, I probably have to, like, coin something just to get on the board. It's Insanity. One Gem Tosser down. Actually, do I just hit the board really hard? I mean, I've got additional card draw here.
Everything needs doing.
Job done.
That's one of the stupidest things I've done in a long time.
Make no mistake.
Because I was on 1 mana, so it only refreshed 1 mana.
You serve well.
It's fine. Just pretend like you didn't see that, and everything is alright.
You serve well.
That's not really like a thanks. Minion 2/1 and draw a card, you say. Gonna buff one of these guys. Look at that. Already 3 minions. I'm gonna get rid of that while I have the chance. If they potentially equip like the Fellstring Harp or they play a Virtuoso, then they would be able to trade and not take that damage. I just kind of want to push the damage here. That's big. I have no spells in hand. So, we spend mana. What are they going to do here? Pop guard? Do they have it? Just a heal for 4 and then trades? Okay. Still, I mean, that's potentially 6 healing depending on what they do with the rest of their turn. Always crescendo, by the way. And additional healing. Dead.
All life must end.
Just lost the game on tempo because of crescendo. Let's try Rainbow. If Death Knight draws up, which it looks like it is, then I'm gonna get into something else rather than just continuously lose games.
The Lich King versus Kurtress.
Should be a good matchup in the Demon Hunter though.
Get in my way. All will serve me in death.
Malted Magma is a really good card to have in hand, especially since we only have 1 copy in deck. Also, I almost forgot that I queued up Rainbow instead of Frost.
Relax your mind.
So we have access to a little bit of healing. If only a little bit. This isn't even necessarily healing, since they potentially have Cane. But I can do like this on 3, and then I have this on 4. In case there's some type of a monkey play. Threads. So I can 4-trade here. Bump there, and then I still have 1 health left on this.
You could use a trim. Clear!
To battle! To battle!
These animations take forever. And then unless they're willing to commit like a hot coals, then this is going to heal me again. And I'm going to be so healthy that playing this on 5 should be totally fine because they won't have enough damage to actually kill me by playing the Cane. And then I can most likely find a way to remove the Cane and then be able to get the 8 health off of this. So things are shaping up pretty good this game so far. So far. Nice.
Could use a trim.
Weak turn from the opponent and a clutch top deck here. I didn't really have anything to do with my mana. I feel like we just win this game now. It's going to take a few turns before our opponent decides to give up. But it's pretty much over.
Could use a trim.
We're actually just dominating. I actually decide not to use it.
Clear!
Definitely doing that. And we're just going to spend mana the best that we can here. Sitting on 34, I think if you're the Demon Hunter in this situation, I think you just concede. Like, continuing to play it out, you basically just make yourself mad if you're not careful.
Good hit. My turn.
Yeah, even though they have Roughhouser, it's still just nowhere near enough. Because I can remove everything with this. And they may actually just be dead. They're trading? Played a lot with this list, but changed 1 card for Helia for long games. Save me against Warriors and Blood DK. I think, I don't think you can play Helia in this list because of the runes, right?
My rule is eternal.
I'm just killing him here, I think. Malted Magma.
Take a
Take a
good
Ruska.
You ain't never seen a light again.
That's actually not lethal.
Buried dead or alive.
I don't have any pirates. This doesn't matter, but I guess I'll kill this guy. You always trade last. They're dead next turn to double malted magma or weapon. Yeah, I think because this is the rainbow deck, Helia's only 1 unholy. Yeah, I guess you can put it in the deck. I'm not sure that I'm like a big Helia fan though. Because sometimes you shuffle the plagues and then they just never draw plagues. I've had games where I've played like actual Plague Death Knight where you shuffle 10 or 12 plagues and they don't draw a plague. But having said that, I've had 2 games just since I started the stream an hour ago where I won because my opponent drew a plague and died. So it's certainly worth considering. I'm not sure what you cut though, like there's no way you can cut one of the spells because you need those for the Dazzler. Feels like Eliza is too good to cut.
Your opponent's left.
So what would you actually cut to be able to put it in? I think I was thinking about it backwards. Eliza and Helia. You can't play Eliza in Frost Death Knight because of the wounds.
It seems my work is not finished.
All will serve me.
Versus Mage. I'm still almost thinking that Mage is actually just the play. Like, the deck isn't that much weaker, it just means there's no longer Portalmancer on turn 4 along with a big spell. Everything else about the deck is the same, and I don't think I want to take this damage. Honestly, it feels like there's times where that couple of damage is really important, depending on how the game goes in this matchup.
I raise, you fold.
But like, this deck should be totally fine. Oh, the Surf Pod nerf, I don't think it really does anything. Whoever looked at a Surf Pod and said, man, I can't believe this is a 5/6.
You fold.
Now, they do potentially still have...
You could use a trim. Clear cut.
Battle.
They do still potentially have a,
Tone to perfection.
Portalmancer next turn. That's interesting. I kind of assumed they would swing into the 3-1, but I guess they don't want to take that much damage.
You could use a trim.
I want to get the Ghoul's Knight down. I can even just get rid of one of these guys. So that I have the minion, and then get the Ghoul's Knight. So then that way, if I need it, I have like a Threads of Despair play for next turn.
Clear cut. To battle.
Threads would at least clear the first board, and then I would have to hope that there's no Con Man. It kind of depends on what they have here. So they have Portalmancer. They've only drawn 9.
I smell gold in them.
Alright, they don't have it, so I'm definitely going to Corpse Sickle, I think. Maybe try to develop the Portalmancer. Plus, being able to, like, 6 damage over 2 turns is going to start putting him really close.
Keep on panning.
3-day core. Now my mana's a little bit awkward, though. Like, if I do this in Hero Power, float a mana, and it's a super weak turn, probably want to try to cut off the card draw as well. If I go face, that would be 8.
Rule is eternal.
They're at 7. It's Probably not enough just yet.
To battle!
And I do want to remove their card draw. The longer that thing's alive, the more likely it's going to draw like a Con Man, Portal Mancer, and anything else that might really mess me up here. It's pretty interesting. I have double Corpse Sickle, so I just won the game, I think. Like, I don't even need to do anything else. I could play this and, like, steal one of their minions, but it doesn't matter. They're just dead. Even if they were running Sleet Skater, the most that they could heal for is 4, and then double Corpse Sickle just kills them. If they have like a rogue counter spell in their deck, I can just play this first to test for it.
You don't pick the one, silly.
Merely a setback.
Merely a setback. We just beat Illidan Arthas, playing the skin. I can't think of the name of the skin. I'm gonna step away and grab a quick cup of coffee. I will be back. Man, why does my friends list not have anybody that actually plays Hearthstone? The Frost DK has really been not good today. So we're going to keep going with Rainbow. Rainbow is the way. It's always so strange to me. The sun is out here now after like the rain that's come off of the hurricane, and now the sun is out. It's always so weird to have all that rain, and you know, it's so like overcast, rain, kind of gloomy, and then you look outside an hour or two later and the sun's out.
I make my own fate. Darkness comes on cold.
Against the Demon Hunter, I think I actually want to keep these just because they're a little bit proactive. Like, I put this on the board, it basically just counters a treasure distributor. Not that it's super great, but just this particular matchup. And then having this, the fact that it has rush and a little bit of healing to go along with it. Rakito.
One dose solves any problem.
Relax your mind.
I wonder if he'll actually take the trade with that masseuse. It's a little unfortunate to draw this. I mean, I'm glad to have it in hand. I would rather have like an actual play. I'm gonna hit the masseuse because the damage still goes face, and then like if they take a trade here and do something else, then Malted Magma just clears everything. I kind of assumed that they're gonna make the trade. Hoping they don't have Sigil here. Sigil is potentially good if they have like the turn 3 ability to buff the thing. Ooh, I like it.
Could use a trim. Clear.
Eliza on 4 is just really good for this deck. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Could use a trim.
Dang, and they equip second quick pick. That's interesting too. These feel like questionable plays. Like surely they have better stuff to do with the cards that are in their hand.
My dread clear trade, Lord.
Like the only thing that I really have to do is just play safe and not take a lot of damage. And like this buffing the Ghoul's Knight. It's taking so much damage here. I even just play the Ghoul's Knight and clear out their board pretty significantly. Hopefully this does. Come on, guys. Well, at least I didn't hit it once. Yeah.
For now.
It's kind of always the way this game was going to go, I think. I think I've played about 150 games of Pirate Demon Hunter this month. And the matchup into every version of Death Knight is just not good. I was like below a 40% win rate against Death Knight with Pirate Demon Hunter. So here's hoping we see more of those. Especially with the rainbow version, because you have like a little bit of healing to keep yourself topped off.
The Lich King versus Ulfar.
Versus Druid.
Is not for the faint of heart. Darkness comes on cold winds.
I'm not keeping the Runes of Darkness. You probably never keep it. But I'm always at least a little bit tempted, just because you play the Shadow spell to start buffing the Dazzler. I kind of feel like this is probably Dungar Druid, in which case they're going to like ramp, and then blow me out of the game with 40 mana worth of cards on the board in a single turn. If they get the Dungar down, I think it's just an immediate concede with this deck.
I may be old, but I'm not slow.
Unless, I don't know, I think about that 420, like how do you ever get through 20 points worth of taunt? And really the only thing that you could do would be either the Primus or Reska. Because if you try to go through it the hard way, just by punching into it, they've healed for 20 and the game is over. Interesting. Alright, for once in my life, can I have a druid that does not have ramp on 3?
You won't find quite a magically aged
Thank you. Get in there, location. Prove your worth. Kinda need something to do though. Like, this isn't strong enough.
Stop and smell the flowers.
This is kind of ramp. Oh my gosh, are you serious, man?
How can this be?
I accidentally clicked on the end turn button and skipped the turn. I don't know how I did that. I like spazzed out and clicked over here instead of playing my minion. How does that happen? Like, that's insane. I actually had, like, plays. Yeah, let me just concede out of the game. The fact that they had the crystal cluster probably means I was losing anyway, but skipping turn 5 is just really bad. I think that's a first. I've played this game off and on since it was released more than 10 years ago, or 10 years ago, however that works out, and I don't think I've ever accidentally ended turn.
The Lich King versus the Lich King.
Darkness comes on cold winds.
Is it the mirror?
You will not weather the storm.
And Zormu can be potentially really good here. I might even just coin this out.
One dose solves any problem. One dose solves.
Coin it out and then
any
play it once it's on
problem.
4-cost minions. I really like the 4-cost minions off of the cheese here. They're just always good, it seems like. Need to figure out what deck they're playing, though. 3 possibilities here. Hopefully it's not blood. Although if it is, sometimes you just kill them anyway.
You won't find quite a magically aged cheese.
One dose solves any problem.
Take it cheesy.
I actually just don't like the trade here. So I'm going face. Punished a little bit for not trading. And actually both hits landing on those is really bad for me. At least there's no horn cheese though, so I think I'm actually just going to cheese for the 3-cost minions instead of 4. I don't like super like it, but it's just a good tempo play.
Use more.
And these actually aren't that bad. Turn 5 decor. They have the threads played. It's unfortunate. So we now know at least that they are playing threads. So that narrows down a little bit what we're against. So it's either rainbow or blood. I kind of feel like it's blood. Not sure how many people are actually playing rainbow right now. So at this point, I think we assume blood. In which case, I'd really like to have the Eliza.
My collection grows.
bad is it to just equip and hit him for 10? It's probably too slow. Like, I need board presence, unfortunately. Let's get a little bit deeper in the deck. That's not bad. I think that's the play. The Reska's active, but that means it's also active for them as well, so I probably don't want to be the one to play Reska first. And I don't want to play, like, big stuff that's going to be good to steal. There's a Frost Strike, so we know they're not playing Blood. Unfortunately, my location is missing in action here. These plays really aren't all that good. So they are playing Rainbow. That's a good burn for us. They're going to have a Frosty Decor, though. And they should have it in hand, so we're nowhere close to actually winning this game just yet. And our plays aren't good. Dazzler. And they hit a taunt. That's unfortunate. Do I clear this with a thread? So we've got 1, 2, 3. There. It's 1, 2, 3 eruptions. Like 1 minion short. The Primus isn't good. I can play the Reska and threads and hero power and clear the board. It's kind of the only real play that I have, I think. Because I'd really like to be able to hit face and at least set up lethal. But if I just Reska and attack here, that's 8. That's actually good enough for now.
You ain't never seen a light again. Very dead or alive.
Your soul is mine.
Yeah, unfortunately I roped out there and missed a hero power. And I'm actually just dead on board as well. Unfortunate. Alright, well that was a really poorly played game, I admit it, but I got a little bit distracted by a text from work.
The Lich King.
Unfortunately, work encroaches on hobby time from time to time.
My blade burns
Who's
with
feeling me
holy
on that one?
fire.
All will serve me in death.
So I needed to actually make the threads play. Reska hero power with threads, punch face, and then just proceed with the game from there. It's probably, even though it's like a lethal setup, I don't think we actually win on the following turn because they should have had a Frosty Decor in hand that they could play.
One dose solves any problem.
Although we were only one top pick away.
Dose solves
Potentially.
Problem. One dose solves any problem.
It is unfortunate that my opponent is playing cards. Blizzard, why does my opponent have cards? I don't mind that my opponent has cards, I just don't want him to have good cards. Blizzard, why is my opponent allowed to have a collection? I want them to have loner decks. It's gonna go ahead and use one of these and start trying to pack the Dazzler here. I mean, realistically, I didn't have any other play anyway, except maybe take a trade, but this works. So this dies. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have, like, the Pipsy on 5. That's what happened the last time I played this deck. If they have Pipsy on 5, I think it's just a concede on the spot. Ooh. So we go Frosty into Dazzler and just hope that our opponent doesn't have the Pipsy in hand. Of course they do. This is the deck I've played against this Paladin deck. This is the second time today, and it's the second time they've had double coin Pipsy on 5. What emote is appropriate for this situation?
I grant you permission to speak.
Like, as soon as this dies, I basically lose the game. And they're able to kill it themselves. Actually, these aren't as bad as I assumed that they would be. I mean, it's still strong, and this is very annoying. So I'm actually going to hold off on the Dazzler here. This clears the board up pretty well. I guess I need to dodge, like, Con Man. I think the last card they played was Pipsy, so Con Man here is really good for him. Off the top. You hate to see it. Off the top. You hate to see it. I should actually just pre-record all this stuff. And they're actually getting, like, a little bit low on health here, too, interestingly enough.
They have gone slightly overboard on the strengthens my rails.
Yeah, that's really not good. Of course they have Con Man.
Strike a pose!
And the Greybow is really good, though. I mean, they trade here, they probably hit, what, like Ziliax, the Titan? I don't think they whiff again. There's no Ziliax. But I can potentially have, like, a Threads clear here.
sun shines for me.
Oh, I died? I think I died. Yeah, let me just concede. I'm not gonna watch all those animations. That was fine until the con man came down. Con man's like terrible in rogue, and it's too good in mage and paladin. I guess that means it's a perfect target for an adjustment, though, because they can nerf the card. It doesn't hurt rogue at all, because it's worthless in rogue decks. But they tone it down for mage and paladin.
The Lich King versus Valera.
Watch your back.
Darkness comes on cold winds.
I'm gonna keep the Gorgon Zormu here. I might need to throw it down like an emergency to try to find a taunt just in case I'm up against Weapon Rogue, and so I'm gonna look for the Quartzite Crusher in case it is Weapon Rogue that I'm up against here. If it is, this gives me 3 turns of freezing them so that they basically just don't do damage. 2 drop. Negative. Hopefully no quick pick. Don't mind that at all. So the fact that they swing here, well, I guess we definitely know that this is Weapon Rogue.
Set it down and I'll sign it up.
Yep. Look how big their weapon is already. So this is going to be clutch. Do I die next turn? How do they get an extra 12? Well, would actually take more than just 12. I kind of want to wait 1 turn. I would like to be able to spend mana a little bit better,
Could use a trim. Clear
but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
Could use a trim.
Next turn I probably have to float another mana and play this. That is the case. But on the plus side, I'm going to be able to play this for 4-cost minions, which again, I just really like the 4-cost minions.
I get it.
Okay. But I had like, I had a really good turn the following turn, and I was going to have them locked down for 2 additional turns, swinging at face. Hearthstone is tripping out again. Bugged client is bugged. In addition to like these random freezes, I really think that they've messed up the RNG for like half the player base. If you're getting bad draws, if your opponent's always top decking, it's because the client is bugged. Take that to the bank. Half the people playing Hearthstone are better at the game than they think they are. It's just a bugged client is rigging their draws. And their opponent's draws.
The Lich King versus Tyrande.
You give me strength.
Darkness comes on cold
You hate to see it. And I gotta be careful with this clicking. After I ended turn that one game without spending mana. Gotta be careful what I'm doing. I've got a habit of just like clicking around on the board. Probably freezing minions on the board is going to be the best thing for this particular matchup. I'm going to have the corpses to be able to make use of it, but that way, I mean, they could still potentially just kill me with, like, the Hedonus. But at least the minions they have on the board don't get to punch me in the face. Make it a little bit more challenging. But overall, this should be a really, really bad matchup. Although having said that, Frosty Decors aren't nothing, but it's just hard to imagine being able to do that much damage. I'm on 7, so I draw Shadow, Fire, Nature, and Frost. So I actually burn a card if I just play the buttons here, but I think it's actually just worth it.
My rule is to let you grow.
Oh, I don't burn a card. My math is awful. I think it's because the Hearthstone client is bugged. Client's so bad I can't do math anymore.
You will all cheer for me! And I mean us!
Interesting. So I actually just killed this thing. The overheal still goes off even if it's frozen, I think, which is kind of bad. They're going to have ways to bring it back to life. But they haven't drawn very many cards on the plus side here.
Calls.
So I definitely just kill it. Get the location down.
To battle!
This is kind of not the way I was envisioning this turn going.
To battle!
Alright. So they really need to draw some cards here. Yeah, that's not that good. Like, at all. And I'm gonna have a nice Dazzler play next turn as well. They really need the 1/3 to draw cards. Adonis isn't super great here. Got a like face. Yeah, again, so this is just kind of a weak play, I think. I go face twice. I mean, I can just kill it and Razzler, I suppose. Come on, man. That's insane. It didn't hit it a single time. That's 4 minions. How do they remove all this? Like, that's not gonna go off enough times, right? They need their second copy of Location with both Adonis.
You will all cheer for me! And I mean us!
Face. Unfortunate. Funnel Cake, also unfortunate. Face? Come on, game. Can't be serious. I mean, just freezing them isn't good enough. I actually just go super wide here. I mean, both of these do get to attack, which is a little bit of an issue. They also don't have any cards in hand.
Problem.
As long as they don't draw cards, I think I'm just fine. Are they dead? 5, 6, 7, and I have 7 from hand.
It is finished.
Yeah.
You win.
They were just in top deck mode because they didn't have card draw. I wonder if they were offered the 1/3 when they played bird watching. Because if they were, they needed to take it. And then they needed like the 1/3, what is it called? Clergy or something like that. They needed that, and then they needed to use the finale card on the card draw minion. They kind of went all in on Hedonus when they didn't have the resources to be able to win the game.
The Lich King versus Cariel.
So this is the third Paladin match of the day. The first two Paladins both had Pipsy on turn 5, because they had Weapon on 3, generate 2 coins, and then on 5, double coin Pipsy. Surely it doesn't happen 3 games in a row. There's no way. Yeah? Yeah. But my hand is also absolutely awful. Well, I guess beggars can't be choosers. It's better than hero power.
Reporting for duty. You could use a trim. Clear.
Spend mana. So this is their metal detector turn. You hate to see it. Off the top. Alright, well that's not a metal detector, so I'm not super upset about it. And this confirms that it's Pipsy Paladin as well.
You could use a trim.
Not a bad top deck. Lets me push maximum damage face. Next turn, I've got location. If they're not getting out the early Pipsy, I feel like we're just going to win this. I may have said location. I meant the Frosty. Spending mana on trades is good. That was a good turn for him. They could also have the con man. That's interesting since they just played it, but I'm not going to float a mana here. Also, there would be one of these that I didn't get. Should probably dedicate myself to Corpse Sickle every single turn for the rest of the game, just weave it in, because I do have plenty of corpses, especially with the Ghoul's Knight in hand. Con Man isn't very good against this board. And if they play a different Paladin card, then it kind of frees me up to be able to Ghoul's Knights. I just don't want to get Prismatic Beamed by a Con Man again. Second copy of this, I think I kind of don't care about.
One dose solves any problem.
Alright, give it to him. That's 8. Seven, 10. I would be 1 off lethal without the second Corpsicle top deck. Hoping this damage gets through. Top deck Eliza could be like Eliza, Corpsicle, and then just kill them. So they're looking for 2 damage here. I'm assuming they get it because they always get it. Which is really painful because my hand isn't really doing a whole lot. Deal 2 and draw a card. Again, it's just sad.
A limited time offer.
That could actually be a Ziliax, so I probably don't want to put a minion on the board. Actually, this doesn't affect Ziliax, because Ziliax is a neutral. They're looking for healing here. I have 10. They actually get the hero. Why do they... Man, they just always have everything, dude. They hit randomly generated stuff, man. They hit the removal on this. They hit the healing off of the Grifter. I mean, it's just... frustrating to play against. I know, I'll just have everything. It's not that big a deal. I mean, I can ping that off. I kind of need to kill him in 2 turns, but I have the setup with what I have. I just need him to not have, like, a taunt. The spell here could be good. I also have healing if I need it to buy myself an extra turn. Hero power definitely happens. That happens. That's 4. Let's see what we get here. Discover 2 random demons. So in order to set up lethal, I kind of have to do this. What does he have? 7, 9, 15.
I have but little time.
Hopefully I'm not dead here, but I mean, if they have like Linessa and glow sticks, it's just really bad. I lose the game. If they have even just 1 copy of glow sticks, I probably lose the game. Looks like they're counting damage right now.
I will not forsake you. Open your minds to the light.
I think I can... I think I can still get through. The problem is if they divine shield themselves. And they do. Zormu. See, that's 5.
My rule is eternal. Nothing can touch my house.
Grids. I still have to do this unless I corpse sickle my own minion.
My rule is eternal. I have but little time.
Dead.
All life must end.
Was probably dead anyway. Even if I had played the healing. I felt like there should have been a way to be able to kill him there, but I needed my rush minion to die. I mean, to break the divine shield, and then I needed to have mana to corpse sickle face and swing face. But I didn't have a way to be able to remove the Titan without the
Lich
charger.
King versus Gul'dan.
Know the true essence of fear. All will serve me in death.
I'm keeping this mainly because I'm concerned about Pain Lock. If it's Insanity, it's not a good keep. But just being able to get on the board and fight for control is important if it's Pain Lock.
Problem.
All face, interesting. Double corpse sickle in hand. I kind of don't like. Threads is an easy way to clear the board. Might have to play these even as just 2 drops. Hopefully this turn gives away whether they're Pain or Insanity. So they actually are Pain Lock. And I have double corpse sickle. Kinda don't have corpses though is the one issue here. But I clear this board just with threads. How much are they trading? Okay. So I guess I don't clear the board with threads, at least not this turn. Do I have to do this? Also, I have to be careful about giants.
Just use more.
Just need to be a little bit careful. Ooh, Fool's Night is interesting.
Job's done.
Picked up some healing and card draw here as well, so that's not bad at all. Probably need to clear because I can't really afford to take this much damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, threads is just a clear here.
Death
Goes to 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I don't think I want to hit face either.
I can't choose.
Force our opponent to reset board. It's pretty good for him. Card draw is good. Yeah, card draw is really good for him here. I'm just probably going to just get down the Gore Blade. Which could even just lead to lethal next turn, depending on the state of the board.
My dread blades crave blood.
Solves any problem.
Lots of cards in hand. Come on this at all. Double trade here is it's so close to lethal. Yeah, they should just be dead, right? Fool's Knight, Corpse Sickle. Guaranteed at least 3 goes face. And then the Corpse Sickle. They actually just died. Oh, that's right, because this deals 2 damage. I wasn't counting that. Nice. Well, we take those. We go again.
The Lich King versus
Drakito!
Dead men tell no tales.
Second time we played against
Serve
Drakito.
me in death.
Wonder if I'm supposed to keep the threads in this matchup. I think I'm gonna keep it. The only way that they win is to get a lot of damage from the board. I may even never play it. But if they have like
Relax your mind.
Masseuse into Sigil into Roughhouser, I'm gonna be very happy that I have the threads in hand. Quartzite Crusher probably just locks them out of the game too if they can't attack.
You could use a trim. Clear cut.
I'm not sure about trading this.
To battle! To battle!
I'll do it. Unfortunately, my hand isn't really doing anything. Roughhouser isn't even, like, super good for him here.
Good hit. My turn.
They do have it. But they end up losing all their minions.
You could use a trim.
Well, I say all their minions. It's not exactly all of their minions. Roughhouser's the one that really needs to die here, so I'm gonna move accordingly. Still really healthy, but my opponent has a lot of cards in hand, and I kinda don't have anything to do the next couple of turns.
My wool itches for war.
Location is a solid top deck here, though. I think it's just going to take the freeze here. I would have preferred to have the Quartzite Crusher for the healing and just to lock down their face, but this is going to freeze minions on the board, and the 5 damage is pretty good as well. Also 1 mana cheaper than the Foam Render. So this is going to have to be a Threads play, just because I need to make sure that I'm clearing the board. I'm assuming, well, they may hold the location charge. If they hold location charge, probably get away with just deal 8. Wait a turn for the Threads play. This isn't bad. I mean, I can clear his entire board with the Threads. Not very many cards in hand. 20 is still reasonably healthy. Would like to see some kind of a playable, if not a way to kill him. I guess safest play is just the Threads, and then I can like hero power and swing face. Not hero power, but use the location. So he needs to deal 20 damage.
Good hit, my turn.
Otherwise, he's just dead next turn to the weapon. That's 9. Still needs 11 damage on 3 mana. It shouldn't be happening. Ooh, miscalculated. Draquito! 2-0 against Draquito. Oh, nice. I haven't really looked all that closely at this. It's a new coin. Looks like a fell-cursed flower or something. And then next we'll be getting the hero portraits. I'm not a super big fan of these. I've always liked the Thunder King, though. Like the original Thunder King portrait, I think I have favorited for my Shaman decks. Why is it so small? Like, why can't they make this bigger? Come on, guys, what are you doing? You could make this, like, bigger so that we can see what it actually is. I don't know, it's not bad, it's not great. Same thing here. I don't really see the Thunder King as, like, having contraptions on his back, though. I feel like the Thunder King would think that's beneath him. Alright, bring on the Pirate Demon Hunters and Pain Warlocks.
The Lich King versus Rexa.
So I played this guy earlier. He's playing the
Darkness comes.
Egg Hunter.
Cold wind.
He got the egg death rattle 3 times, and all 3 times he hit King Plush. So 3 times he put my board back into my deck, and then on turn 8 he played the Stranglethorn card that resurrected 3 plushes and killed me.
They love a little fiddle.
But I think that game I was playing Frost DK, and right now I'm playing Unholy, so hopefully things go a little bit smoother. I don't really want to, but I might have to coin the location. Probably much rather play the Gorgon Zormu, depending on what they do here. But I'd like to get the cheese in hand to start developing those minions. And I'm not even sure I clear this with the location either. Probably need to go ahead and hit since this guy dies anyway. I'm assuming they're looking for egg at this point. So my start has unfortunately been slow, and the longer the game goes, the better it is for my opponent. Dewdrops really aren't that great, but it does just kind of give me a board that I maybe need, like, right now.
My rule is eternal.
If I can take this trade. Give me this. I haven't seen an egg yet, either. Seems fun. Unfortunately, this doesn't have an attack value, but I might actually be able to protect it so that my hero can continue to attack with the Frosty Decor. Unfortunately, Dazzler is really small so far this game.
I see a few.
That's kind of big. Was it actually just Reno? Did I get victimized by Reno last game? Because that's crazy if it's true.
Your soul is mine.
Dude, if this was Reno Hunter and I lost that last game, I can't remember if they played duplicates or not, but the way that I lost it would be insane if it was actually Reno. I just assumed it was Egg Hunter, but I don't think I actually saw duplicates now that I think about it. Titan Forge Traps. I think it is Reno then, isn't it? Does Egg Hunter play Titan Forge Traps? I don't know. This is the only Psycho play in this deck, so I don't even know what's in it. Probably an explosive trap in there. Ghouls Night. Man, where's my, Eliza? I kind of feel like there's probably a bait and switch in here as well. Start like this.
Really heating up.
You shall suffer.
So explosive, and there could be like a explosive makes perfectly good sense. Do I even want to kill this? And then the other thing is, what if it's like a rat trap? It could either be rat trap or hidden meaning.
I have but little time.
Take the foam render for damage. bargain bin. Seems fun. He's gonna have like a, what, 2 Crocs that are 2 mana 4/6s?
I race, you fold.
Right, big board for him. How much damage do I have? 8, 10, 11. Just do this. That's 4 minions, so I would have to trade first. How does that ever kill him, though?
Death calls. Your soul is mine.
So next turn, if there's no taunt, I just have lethal. Don't think I'm dying here. Shouldn't be dying. Tracking into Hollow Hound, which is actually just a Reno. That's great. This is, pretty sure this is just Reno Hunter. Tracks into the only thing that prevents me from killing him. Red's clear is a little bit dodgy here as well. Kinda need to do this and hope that some of them hit face. Nice. Why would you do that? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So Threads does clear. 2 here.
I have but little time.
Alright, well. I kind of restarted the game on turn 8. Thanks to tracking Hollow Hound. With the magnetic thingy in hand as well. Still though, I got a big Dazzler, big weapon. Nothing else, this is corpses.
Shouted from the mountain.
Ooh, tempo. Yelling Yodeler is crazy. Reduce its cost by 1. Discover a Naga.
Strike a pose.
Oh baby, the double taunts. You have for me. Tide Pool. Tide Pool is probably the best out of these. I'm not giving them random spells because random spells are going to find a way to ruin me.
No wear and tear of any kind.
Take the Corpse Sickle.
Your soul
Face.
is mine.
King Plush is like really bad. I'm gonna play the Malted Magma instead of the Corpse Sickle. If they do happen to have the King Plush, then I'm gonna potentially be running out of corpses. This guy, man. This guy. Alright, so we go again.
Strike a pose.
must mourn hunger.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. It's Reno Hunter, man. This guy, he's exactly the same rank as when I played him like 2 hours ago. So he's basically going 50-50. But he needed tracking exactly into the Hollow Hound to not die that game. And he still had 20 cards in his deck, I think. So 3 out of 20 to hit the Hollow Hound. I gotta really stop doing the math when I'm playing Hearthstone, because stuff like that is what kind of sends you over the edge a little bit.
Let the games begin.
This mage, I played this guy earlier too. Is there like nobody playing Hearthstone right now? Usually at this rank you don't see the same people over and over again. But I played this guy at least once, maybe twice. Third game in a row that somebody that I played earlier today. I've only been playing a little over 2 hours.
Problem. One dose
Dialax.
any problem.
Still hoping to cheese people out with Big Spell Mage, even after the nerfs.
Tuned to perfection.
I'm doing a reasonable job of it, it looks like, as well. I actually have nothing. Crazy.
One dose
From 0 to hero.
problem.
So he equips the weapon. It's going to come down to whether or not he has King Tide and or Portalmancer, I guess. It's probably location into Frosty Decor from my side. And I'm just going to keep punching him in the face. I hope all 3 of these would go face so I could use it again for the face damage. Unfortunate. Yeah, take that damage. Oh! Oh, 3 coins? Come on, man. They specifically nerfed this deck so that there would not be a turn 4 Tsunami, and look at what happened! Turn 4 Tsunami! That's crazy. I think that's actually just game. If nothing else, it's frustrating enough to make me quit. Once again, Blizzard botches the nerfs. They basically, with the nerfs they made, they make a statement. Turn 4 Tsunami is too good, but we're fine with turn 5, and that's fine. And yet people are still able to play turn 4 Tsunami. Only when the stars line up perfectly for them, though. As they did in that particular game. But if you basically, you know, actions speak louder than words. By your actions, you're saying we don't want turn 4 Tsunami. So shouldn't you remove every possible way for it to happen, instead of leaving a fringe case where it's an instant win?
Darkness comes
Makes sense to me.
on cold winds.
Not to the people in charge, though. Ooh. Turn 4 Eliza. Meanwhile, my hand is absolutely awful. Other than this. Against a deck that likely just wants to gain armor, and I'm hero powering on 2. Oh, they forge. Question here is it sanitize or is it bellowing flames? I'm assuming it's sanitize and this is Odin Warrior. So I kind of would like to force out, assuming it's sanitized, I want to force it out before I actually play the Razzle Dazzle. You have so many cards, though. That is going to be a lot of armor for my opponent. Guess I don't really have a choice here. Opponent has actually gained 6 health and we're on turn 5. Are they going to brawl this? Oh.
Do you have this in a bigger size?
Interesting. Probably want to save this. I would like to get the Quartzite Crusher once I have enough corpses to really be able to utilize it. I think I go ahead and take this trade to get the buff. It's just unfortunate, like, my hand isn't really doing a whole lot here. But at least I'm able to strip off all of my opponent's armor. I have now dealt 2 damage this game. Everything here summons another minion. I can't imagine that they would actually sanitize this board. I have enough corpses to try to look for the Quartzite Crusher here, but I would want to wait until, you know, they were looking to actually kill me. And I need to see the sanitize before I ever play the Dazzler too, which is another issue because I don't have other minions to be able to play. Another shield block. Look how much they're healing. Like, they don't even have to do anything. Interesting.
Vengeance!
Battle to battle!
Clear cut!
We actually, like, giga whiff with that as well. Just gonna take the hero power. I could have played this on the board and hoped to be able to do a ton of damage. I think this is enough pressure that they're going to want to use their board clear, in which case I go with the Dazzle. On the plus side, I'm getting a decent amount of corpses that I'll be able to swing every single turn, but once the Odin comes down... Actually, this is just like a decent amount of pressure as is. I think I saved the Dazzler because they're still going to have brawls and whatnot. It's going to force them to...
My wool itches for war.
Have to remove stuff again.
Shall suffer.
Even gonna get this down. It's an extra corpse and a tradable to be able to get deeper into my deck. And they have to be a little bit careful here because of the damage that we're capable of. But I'm assuming this board gets cleared. I've seen one sanitize, but they still have 2 brawls. They've used both Gift of Garrosh. So it's 2 brawls and another sanitize. Hopefully it's not a maniac that's running Viper. Second sanitize. Again, they do still have a brawl. But I need to, like, try to pressure every turn.
Strike a pose.
Never charge. Interesting. Don't need to use that just yet, and I might need the corpses for something else. The question is, I think I'm just going to hero power here. It is 1 less damage, but I kind of hide the information that I have Corpse Sickle in hand. And Brawl, unless specifically this wins, Brawl is kind of a little bit not good enough here. Okay. They still need to heal, though. They died. Hard to know without seeing exactly what's in their hand. They should have played the Alloy Advisor first, and then played the Blade Storm, because they would have healed a ton off of that. So I think that was just a bit of an order misplay from our opponent. I didn't notice, what did I have? Was the smallest minion 5 health? I think the smallest minion was 5, so if they play the Alloy Advisor first, the Alloy Advisor survives with 1 health, and they gain 15.
The Lich King versus Nosdormu.
Mavis.
No one will breach these walls.
Close personal relative of Beavis.
On cold winds.
I think I've played against Pipsy Paladin 3 times and lost all 3. But in my defense, the first 2 games against Pipsy Paladin, they had Pipsy on 5. Come on, man. I don't want these guys in my opening hand. At least not both of them. And probably not at all against Paladin.
Solves any problem. Just use
I feel like there's an argument that you could cut Primus and Yogg from this deck. I just grabbed a standard list for Rainbow Death Knight, but the games don't really last long enough for these to see any play whatsoever. Like, that last game was against a control deck, and it ended on, I think, turn 9. But I wouldn't have played the Yogg anyway. So what if you actually played an extra copy of Malted Magma and an extra copy of Natural Talent and just cut Primus and Yogg? The only time that blows up in your face would be if you're against, like, Dungar Druid, I guess. One turn late, Gorgon Zorlin. 1 turn late. And I probably just want a location next turn as well. The good news is, plenty of minions on the board makes the location really, really strong.
To battle!
That might actually just be the best outcome. Now the location is open again. Rusher in hand, Charger, potential.
May have gone slightly overboard on
Turn
the
5,
size.
Pipsy once again. Omega, unfortunate. Man, that is super duper unfortunate. Okay.
You won't find magically aged seeds.
Man, 4 games I played against this deck.
To battle!
Choose more.
And 3 out of the 4 games they've had turn 5 Pipsy. I really feel like it's just not that consistent, but it seems to be consistently happening against me. So maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I could even try to slow the game down so that I could get a big-time Yogg. Is it deal 2? They just kill their own Pipsy. They always hit it, right? Yeah, they always hit it. And they hit the Ziliax. And they hit the Titan. So we lose the game because our opponent just put, what, 20 mana? They just spent 25 mana on turn 5 or turn 6. It's crazy, man. And it happens almost every time I play against that deck. And then I find out that it's actually not consistent at all when I try to play it myself and literally never have Pipsy. Either just don't draw it or definitely don't have it on turn 5. Who's feeling me on that one?
The Lich King!
Another
versus
warrior.
Garrosh.
Victory or death! All will serve me in death.
Would like to see the Eliza again, for sure. Denied. Rune of Frost with this for the extra spell damage can be good. I wanted to save the coin this game, but I'm going to burn it to remove the totem. Shut down the card draw and the armor gain as quickly as I can. So I've got Gorgon on 3. Into maybe double casualties on 4. Oh. It's so broken in Warrior. Come on, game. I kind of like the buttons. It's going to make me overdraw, but drawing those spells is going to be good. Hopefully I don't overdraw something important like a Dazzler.
Stop and smell the flowers.
This actually kind of makes it look like it is a...
Clear cut.
Take it seriously.
So because they had the Tortolan, it makes me think that this is actually Mech Warrior, in which case I think I want to reduce the cost of my Reska. So that's why I decided to play both of these versus... Yes, and it is. Question now being, does that mean that they just have the mech? And I assume that's what they hit. There's going to be lots of death rattles coming my way here.
My collection.
I think it's fine to just go ahead and do this. And you can't go wrong with the old Quartzite Crusher. Doesn't do a whole lot in this, but it is a little bit of healing. But the fact that they can just, like, replay a weapon... Yeah, break and then swing, so it's just a ton of damage coming out of this. But we also generate a lot of corpses here. I want to try to steal the Ziliax for sure.
Could use a trim.
Put a pin in it.
Clear cut.
I do end up taking a lot of damage here, which is a little bit of an issue. Unfortunate. Although it could be good a little bit later. Am I freezing face here? I think I just need to make my Reska cheaper by doing this. I only get 4. But it makes the Reska really cheap. I kind of need a corpse sickle so that I can kill it myself. And I actually don't have it. And I can't remember what goes off first. I don't know if this actually steals the Ziliax, or if the Death Rattle goes off first and then that comes back out. I actually just can't remember. There's a lot of damage here, though. This attacks... That's 4, 8, 16. I need to save the rest of it, though. Now things are getting interesting. So they need Hydration Station and they need Inventor. Draw last? That seems kind of strange. Don't you draw first to see what you need to do? I guess maybe they already have a Hydration Station in hand. Top deck boom? That's great. So I've got a 50-50 to actually... Or no, I can do Primus. Trade this and guaranteed steal the Ziliax.
The runes decide your fate. Remnants of life.
Soul Stealer is good.
Take a good look. You ain't never seen a very dead or alive.
So now they need Hydration Station. But I mean, one Hydration Station we just Soul Stealer, and then I guess the other one we can Yogg. They're trying to draw into it. Pretty likely that they should hit one. Also, where are my Dazzlers? Yeah, they do hit a Hydration Station. Unfortunate.
Perfection.
4 damage this. And then 5, 6. A little bit sad. So sad.
Frost. Mark of the bitter.
Strike. Kill 6. He'd kill this. Actually, this guaranteed kills it as well, as it's killing the rest of the board.
fashion.
You could use a trim. Clear cut.
Alright, so there's one more hydration station. And I can soul steal her. Is that an execute? Okay. Heck'em Wreck'em. Second time? Come on, man. Just dead to the weapon?
There's always room for dessert.
That's great. So I just die if I do this? That's crazy.
Death calls.
Seriously, man. I guess there's never any question that the RNG just doesn't go my way on that. I needed to hit Ham one time and not kill this with 3 potential targets, and then Frost Strike. Whatever, man. Hearthstone absolutely doing me dirty, dude. Ugh. I drew no Razzlers that game. Eliza was really, really late. My opponent top-decked a Dr. Boom. They also top-decked a 0 mana hydration station off of the wand. Just typical Hearthstone, I guess. Shouldn't surprise me at this point, but it does. Why wouldn't my opponent top-deck and just win games?
King versus Illidan. I will set the sky ablaze.
Not before I do.
Will serve me in death.
Should be a good matchup. Kind of depends on our draw a little bit. We should be fine here. I like going first as well. Double Razzler in hand, though. That's not good. But we do have early game plays.
Relax your mind.
Kind of hate to see the brain masseuse. Are they coining a
Relax your
second
mind.
masseuse, huh? One turn late. Come on, man. Once again, typical Hearthstone.
When I shoot ya, it's gonna hurt.
Dude, that's amazing. Why are you so good at this game? Probably should have killed this. I wasn't really thinking about it. I was mentally still going over in my mind those cannon hits on the last turn. But it's going to be fine. Play this on 4. We're going to hit a Frosty Decor for 5. And we shouldn't really be low enough for Kane to just wipe us off the map. This thing is absolutely a sniper, though. Maybe I actually change my play here.
You could use a trim. Clear cut.
The Cannoneer was going to single-handedly win the game because it got perfect hits every single time. We've now removed that as a possibility.
could use a trim.
Is a 4/4 and a random 5 drop good enough? Probably not.
Treasure trap.
Don't let me down, boys. I need 2 hits here. Nice. Kinda just have to hope that they don't have the Roughhouser, but I think it's pretty likely that they do. They have like Roughhouser Plus.
I'm flying.
Yeah, if they have a Roughhouser along with this.
It's gonna hurt.
Don't mind that. Do they double trade here?
My wool itches for war.
Yeah, so this is bad. Top deck Malted Magma, I guess, is my best. Reds actually does it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This can actually just punch face. 3, that dies. Next turn I can dazzle out for a 4 minion board. They only have 3 cards in hand. I'm still at 24 health, so I can probably just play this. Decent chance with 3 summoned minions. Oh, that's a lot of damage though. Even if they have Kane, they're probably not going to kill me, and then I can trade these for armor.
Hide behind yourselves. I will still
They do have the Kane. I take 8, but I'm going to heal for 8. I think I actually just Corpse Sickle this, trade 1 there, and then Dazzler. And maybe even trade one of my guys into this, because that's going to allow me to play around. That's going to allow me to play around a really lucky acupuncture with this. Let me see what I get first.
Strike a pose.
I think I just can't die here. Shouldn't be able to die.
Good hit. My turn.
How much damage is this? That's 16. Don't go face. It doesn't matter, even if it goes face, they still don't have enough. Are you serious? Dude, that's crazy. What are you talking about? This is the kind of stuff that it just drives me crazy, man. It's a 1 out of 5, and you're like, oh, okay, I lost a 1 out of 5. But then you lose, 1 out of 5 like 3 times in a row. Didn't matter this game, but there's a lot of games where it would matter. But then when you sit back and think about your entire play session, you're like, well, I lost a 1 out of 5, then I lost a 1 out of 27, then I lost a 1 out of 9, and you start to calculate the odds of something like that happening, and you're like, well, I'm a 1 in 37 million for all of that stuff to happen to cause me to lose these games. And then you realize that that happens every day for your entire Hearthstone career, and then you're like, well, I don't even know the name of the number big enough to calculate those odds. Then you go over,
The Lich King versus
say, hey, I'm gonna watch a streamer.
The moon shines bright.
And let's just say that they're playing...
Serve me in
Let's just say that they're playing like Spell Damage Druid. And then they have Mista Vista on turn 5 like 10 games in a row. And you're like, wait a second, this variance thing from a universal level is actually just crazy. It's too bad that this doesn't have a spell school. Like, shouldn't this be Shadow? I think I do this, just because just playing the mining casualties, it floats a mana and it's really bad into a malted magma play. Just gonna get the minion out there. Turn 4 is gonna be Eliza, like no question. I can forge this in a future turn. Actually, it could just be like, next turn would be Forge, play this, and Mining Casualties. So I guess this means it's either Incendious or it is Reno. It is Reno! And they have the card. They have the card.
Hoist the colors!
Naturally, they have the card. Turn 4 Doc Holiday. What's the win rate on, like, even turn 5 Doc Holiday? They have it on 4. And after the game that I just went through... What a play! I think I just jammed this. It's good enough, right? I could Decor, float a mana, and do it for an additional minion the next turn, but
Strike a pose.
it's just better. Really strong board, and they're only on 5 mana here. Oh, baby. Dazzler wins the game. You always got to play for tempo. You don't, generally speaking, you don't ever want to float mana, and you want to be putting pressure on your opponent and force them to have some kind of an answer. Like, it's just a little bit too greedy to play Frosty Decor. And every turn you give them, their taunt minion off of the Doc Holiday weapon just continues to get bigger and bigger. A little bit of a high roll with the 10-10 rush
King versus
and the buffer for the other 2 minions, but
You're back.
all will serve me.
definitely the correct play overall.
Death.
Assuming it's Weapon Rogue, I really, really want a Runes of Darkness, and I want to hit a Quartzite Crusher. A Quartzite Crusher, they probably just concede as soon as you play it. But I have to actually find the rune, and there's no guarantee. This will help me be able to put pressure on them, though. Could still be Giants Rogue, could still be Wishing Well Rogue, but I feel like I see more Weapon Rogues. That's what I'm expecting here. A little bit of healing in hand with this.
Choose soon.
If they miss quick pick on 2 as weapon rogue, it helps a lot. Because that's one less card that's being drawn every single turn. They have it. Could still be Giants Rogue. Giants Rogue also runs this. I'm playing the Gorgon here. I want to save this for potentially getting some healing. Turn 4 is definitely the Eliza. And honestly, if it is Weapon Rogue, I'm going to jam this on turn 5, even as just 3-drop minions. Maybe even if it's Giants Rogue, just jam it. Because they're going to have the Eliza buff. Again, I just want to pressure my opponent's health total as much as possible. So it's definitely Weapon Rogue. And they definitely just had a weak turn. So now, they either need a Swarthy, or they need a Sharp Shipment, otherwise it looks like they're just not going to swing. Okay, so we see now that it actually is Giants Rogue.
For all eternity.
Super unlucky for them on the Twilight Drake, and hopefully there's no second copy. Yep, so I don't really mind this at all. And I think I am going to play these even as just 3-mana minions. Other option would be to play these two to set up a Dazzler for next turn, and then I can actually just save this. I actually full clear like that. I have no board, though, if I go down that route. This floats mana. Do like this.
Death calls.
Hoist the colors!
With this, I at least still have a board.
You could use a trim. Clear cut.
To battle!
You could use a trim.
Seems like the best way to keep pressure on my opponent. Unfortunately, nothing here just yet, but I'm going to be able to potentially change that. Cards. Hopefully there's no, like... Hopefully there's no giants with breakdance here. It's pretty likely that they have it, though. Yeah. Do they have the second one is the real question. If they have it, I'm actually in trouble quite a bit. Second break dance. Please no.
I should meet you.
Okay. It doesn't do anything. It actually just threw away a card. Oh wait, it deals damage. Okay. Never mind. I'm a doofus. This is doing a little bit of work, though. Setting up a decent Razzler for next turn. I think I actually want to hit here. Or do I go face? If they Shadow Step, it just heals. If they find the second Breakdance, it just heals. Maybe it's better to actually take the face damage. So with this deck, basically you want to get control of the board and then try to set up OTK turn with the Sonya Grifter. And they only have 11 cards left in deck, so it's getting more and more likely that they have it. I'll really start to get a little bit nervous when I see the Scoundrel come down. It's not a pirate. That's good. So what do they have left? They still have a second Gaslight. Do they have a second Everything Must Go? They'll have a second one of these. They have a second Breakdance. Opponent still has quite a bit of potential.
Too soon.
So the best play is probably to remove this. In which case I'm going to be doing like a Corpse Sickle. Oh, they hit the Breakdance. That's really good for them. I mean, it's also super likely, though, because they've drawn their entire deck. Ghoul's Knight? The chance that I full clear with this is really low. And they run Fan of Knives as well. But it's still like the best play that I have. Unless I wanted to Natural Talent, which probably doesn't really do anything. Other than buff the Naga. Snake Eyes and Mic Drop.
Looks like your luck is running out.
5 and a 6.
I have but little time.
Frosty Decor. I'm probably in a situation where I doubt the Hollow Hound gives... I don't know, it might actually be a lot of healing depending on the plays that they make. They still haven't played a Sandbox Scoundrel yet, so their combo doesn't really come into play until they have the mini. I can't just jam this and hope that I hit taunts, though. Is the other thing. They've already used one Deafen. But it's getting more and more likely that I just die to the... It is so expensive here as well. Unfortunately, they've had like all the time in the world to be able to get to their combos, so it's just getting more and more likely that I die.
This treasure ain't fit for a pirate.
It's probably a Sonya play next turn, but I'm going to be able to get
There? Nope, nobody there.
a lot of healing. So I think this means they should also be playing the Everything Must Go. But I'm going to heal for like 20 between health and armor. I just don't have a good way to be able to spend my mana.
This one is dumb as a rock.
Too soon.
Deal damage for every card you've drawn this turn.
This one is dumb as a rock.
they can likely just shadow step that again. Aww. Well, they're not going to be drawing a whole lot of cards here. It pretty much comes down to whether or not they can kill me with the Sonya Grifter. I think I should just be dead. But we'll see. Potentially they just mess it up. Potentially they get unlucky. They're actually just not even going for it. So if that's the case... Need a little help from the Dazzler here. Gain Divine Shield, 50% chance to gain Lifesteal instead.
Fold now. There's still more.
So we're actually back to full. Opponent needs to kill us here. And they actually don't even try, so I don't understand what happened that game, to be honest. Unless they just don't own Sonya, I think we should just be dead here. Because you play, like, they had both minis in hand. They go... You go Sonya. You play the mini Scoundrel. You play Grifter. They still had a Shadow Step in hand for the Grifters. Let's see, you'd have to play... You could Shadow Step the mini as well. You don't even have to play both minis. They should have had plenty of board space in case they hit Mind Control. Between Mind Control and Deal 6...
Versus Leroy the Legend.
Should have definitely just been dead there.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy!
Will serve me in death.
I'm going to keep the Gorgon Zormu here. Assuming this is Pipsy Paladin, this is going to be the 5th time I've played it. 3 out of the... Just today now. This is just today. 3 out of the 4 times I've played this deck today, they've had Pipsy on turn 5.
Nothing can catch my hounds.
And nobody's really playing anything but Pipsy, so... Eliza on 4 is really, really good for me. I need Hearthstone to choose me to win this matchup for once, because I've been selected to lose so many times. Okay, okay. Man, I want to jam this down, but I feel like the location might just be the better play here.
My dreadful prey blood.
The desert sun strengthens my ways.
Oh, yay! What's the chance they have a con man play here as well? Unfortunate. Ooh. Horizon's Edge Sniper. You love to see it. I'm probably just going to jam this as 4-cost minions. I really think 4-cost is one of the best that you can have here. Also, please no res 4/6 with Divine Shield. But it's pretty likely that they have more than 3 health, which is relevant for the Prismatic Beam. And I feel like if you don't play this for 4, you have to wait and play it at 7, because 5s and 6s, for me at least, have been really bad. It's going to be a while before I can dazzle as well, so I just need to get like some pressure on the board, hopefully. Might have to actually float a mana to be able to do it, depending on the top deck, so it could be like these.
Shaking us stuff. Let's do this.
I can play this here, hit here, location, and that.
You could use a trim. Clear cut.
Job's done.
Could still just, I mean, if they have like deal 2 to all minions twice off of both Mixologists, they're going to clear this board, but there's a lot of boards that they would clear in that way. This might be a game where... Oh, that's a really bad... Really bad for him. Kitty cat! My good luck charm here.
You could use a trim.
Lanessa Paladin! I'm shocked.
At least I have chicken.
Oh, baby. Chillin', chillin'. Chillin' on Rainbow DK. Could really taste the rainbow on that one. Is it a bugged queue? My rank is nowhere near high enough to have a long queue.
The Lich King.
Another Pally!
Finley.
To save the world.
Orbally definitely a keep.
On cold winds.
I'm gonna keep it for this matchup. So today I played 5 Paladins. This is Paladin number 6, and every single one of them has been Pipsy Paladin. Ow, my good luck charm just bit my arm. Kitty cat, what are you doing?
Solves any problem.
Anybody else out there have a good luck charm that just attacks them? That was a Forge card, by the way. And I don't think Pipsy Paladin plays any type of Forge cards. What? So does that mean this is hand buff?
A limited time offer.
Sea Shill? The plot thins. Location is so good here, man, when you have minions on the board. Like, having actual minions already on board is what makes this card so strong. Just being able to play it multiple times in the same turn is really good. Ow. My good luck charm is continuing to hurt me. fine with this. Like, this doesn't need to die right away. Whenever it dies, it's going to be good.
I will not forsake you.
That's a really interesting. It's early for it, but having the location on the board makes it hopefully easily dealt with.
How can this be?
Ah, infinitize, you say.
Hoist the colors!
The Scourge? Seriously? Bruh. Oh man, I thought it reduced it by 2. Did they nerf this card, or am I crazy? I was probably better off taking the deal 2 damage to the opponent's board, especially since they drew cards with the first charge here.
%100% real fake gold.
I will not forsake you.
What? That's cheating! What are they drawing into?
Be reborn in my image.
Is it still just Pipsy Paladin? With like some kind of weird tech? I think I actually just like swing and then kill this with my own Corpse Sickle to buff everything else to help me get through this.
Time's over.
Or it may actually just be threads.
100% real fake gold.
I will not forsake you.
And even another one?
Open your minds to the light. Open your minds to the light.
Oh. So if I go like this... Let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hoist the colors!
To battle!
To battle!
Alright, well, we don't have a lot of resources left in hand, so maybe it was correct to take the Scourge here. On the plus side, I'm still at full health, but like pressure on my opponent is non-existent, and they've basically drawn every minion in their deck with the repeated... what's the name of that? The Paladin Titan? I keep wanting to call it Amonthul, but it's not. Can't remember the name of it, but both Conmen down, Titan down.
Mother, we seek your counsel.
Ah, the plot thins. It's actually just Earthen Paladin.
He has heard our plea!
Malted Magma. I guess I can trade in like Magma, Corpse Sickle, and then on turn 8, go for the Scourge, and hope that they don't play the like buff a minion and deal all damage to the entire board, as that would be bad. Ghoul's Knight. They should just be like board after board at this point though, right? Like my entire play was very, very reactive, and this is not intended to be a reactive deck. Again, hopefully they just can't, like, clear a board, and hopefully I high roll some of the undeads. But if they play that, I don't remember the name of that card either. But it's like you give your minion 2 attack and then deal that minion's attack damage to the entire enemy board. They're playing that. This basically does nothing. And I maybe just die the following turn.
You are a friend to the earthen.
I mean, if they have a weak turn, I could even just, like, Pyroblast face and try to set up a lethal with, oh my gosh. I think I just set up a double Corpsicle lethal for next turn. Can they heal? Ziliax? But they may have drawn their Ziliax as a 2/2.
We seek your counsel.
They have Divine Brew, I can actually just clear it with this. Oh, Holy Sticks actually does quite a bit for him here. This is a very interesting deck.
Feel that healing beat.
Open your minds to the light.
They go to 10?
Time's over.
I hope I don't get messed up by only 9 mana here. They probably should have traded there as well. Easy. Man, I have no clue what was in that deck. There was so much different stuff, man. It's like a Lanessa Paladin with a Pipsy package. It was kind of strange. What else did we see? They had Double Con Man. Amethyst was the card I was trying to think of, the Titan. They had Amethyst. No Pipsy that I saw. The Earthen package has to take up a lot of slots. And I'm assuming that they didn't run Holy Sticks either, although most of the cards that were drawn were minions off of the Amethyst. But then they also ran... They played a Forge card, so the mech must have been played from hand to buff their hand. And then they were running the 2/3 Rusher with Finale Lifesteal. It almost kind of seemed like random pile of cards Paladin.
The Lich King versus Valera.
Watch your back.
All will serve me.
Another Rouge.
Death.
Don't mind playing Rouges. If it's Weapon Rogue, this could be very clutch to hit a Rune of Darkness and be able to get a Quartzite Crusher. So far, it looks as though it could be exactly Weapon Rogue. Could also be Giant Rogue. I guess it could also be Wishing Well. Although, the fact that, unless I just missed it, they did not generate a coin, which means that this is actually just Giant's Rogue. I think I would rather play the Natural Talent here to start packing it into the Dazzler, because I'm going to want to drop this on 6. Kitty cat. My good luck charm is back. I guess I just jam this. There's no reason to save it, right? Oh my gosh. No shot, dude. I'm never going to be overloaded. I'm just going to put the minion down for tempo. They may just swing into it with a dagger that's 2 damage face that likely never gets healed.
Sit down and I'll sign it up.
Oh, it actually is just Weapon Rogue, and he's coming for my face. So I really need to hit a Rune of Darkness off of this, and then I need to discover... It's a little bit slow, though. That's the problem. Ooh. Interesting. I don't even necessarily need the buff off of it. I would rather have the...
My rule is eternal. My collection grows.
So... I need to hit a Quartzite Crusher and probably equip and punch face because their weapon is getting really, really big. And then at that point, I've got... Yeah, it basically comes down to whether or not I hit the Quartzite Crusher. If I hit it, I think I just win, and if I miss, I just lose. Also some chance that they have enough damage to go over the top. And that is not a Quartzite Crusher.
Most intriguing.
Actually missed twice.
Most intriguing.
So I'm just dead. That's wild, man. Undeserved.
Must end.
Alright, that is actually going to do it for the stream. I'm going to get something to eat. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck out on the ladder.